to the Art of Placemaking. I'm Patrick Ahern. Today we're traveling towards Katama on Martha's Vineyard to Herring Creek Farm. The farm is a 210-acre site with a limited number of original and a few new buildings. And these are some of the original farm structures over here on the right, original barn on the left. The other house over there is the Vincent house, which is an original house. One of the new houses we did is called Cove house, which it's very much of the farm in terms of its architecture and character and scale. And that was part of the program and the approach that our client, Rob Hughes and Susan Hughes, wanted us to emulate. Albeit a large house, it's broken down into many smaller pieces, and it feels very much like it was of the farm. You know, if I tell people to drive through and find the new house, they can't find it. That's a good thing. It's a 5,200 square foot house, but yet it's broken down into many pieces. And then just beyond that house is Herring Creek Cove, and then South Beach, in effect. So everybody as part of Herring Creek Farm has private beach rights, which is really nice. So when we designed the Cove house, we really looked very closely at this house, being the Vincent house, and its gambrel form and the architecture and the use of the little 4-light square windows. That's really a 1700s Cape Cod style design. So we had a really good model to work from here. Rob has this little shack that he uses as his office set away over here. And so we go through this little grove of trees, and when Rob is out here, this is where he works. It's kind of cool.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, man. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Over the last few years, Rob's been able to basically buy back his heritage in separate transactions, and it's worked out really well.
Remember when before the trees were there?
Right.
It was,
It's like the Papa Bear, the Mama Bear, then the Baby Bear in the middle.
the houses were often, built in series by generations,
Right.
And they were tagged on to, and if somebody had a really good year, or something,
They got another piece.
Yeah, they got another piece. That's what we on the farm call this I-95.
Yeah.
You can tell why, right? When Ronald and Dorothy Wild purchased the farm during the Second World War, he was a conscientious objector and was not serving the military, and farming was a way of avoiding military service. And then in 1946, my grandfather met the Wilds and purchased the farm. He subsequently added 2 or 3 acquisitions to that, and then the 3rd or 4th acquisition, he began buying property almost all the way into town. And then my granddad sold different pieces of it. In the early 90s, you and I worked together on a big project in Florida. And at that same time, the owners who had purchased the farm from my grandfather had filed a 55-lot subdivision for the property, and ended up then in 2001 in a transaction with the Nature Conservancy that essentially placed all of the farm in conservation. Instead of 55 new lots, there were 6.
Right. I remember that when we first started talking, you came to me with the concept of, well, we should just build a big barn.
Right. And obviously you caught on pretty quickly that might be an idea, but wouldn't play.
That's the politics of design, how we rediscuss certain items.
I see. Is that how you do it? Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
One of the challenges, of course, in doing this with you was the success that we had in turning from a 55-lot subdivision to just 6 newly constructed properties. Was obviously each of these 6 would be significant properties. The fact, Patrick, that you've done the architecture for the Stantons, for the Williams now, and for us, helped us create this architectural review process that required an island vernacular. The owners, the individual owners that you've done work for, have had the benefit of their own individual
imagery and ideas and things like that. But between the Vincent house and the farm and the farm outbuildings, the sensitivity of the design of the Cove house is critically important, that it relates much more to the farm buildings than perhaps some of the other houses as they're further away. There's maybe a little more latitude.
I think that's right. Susan and I learned a lot about the renovative process working at Cove House.
Right. Yeah.
But what you did for us in Santa Barbara was really fantastic. By the time you saw it, there was a great deal of deferred maintenance, but it was time to go to work. And I'll never forget, Patrick, what you said. You came in and you said, look, we're going to build this house as if we're in the 1930s when it was built, but we're going to do it as if we knew then what we know about materials today. And you brought out the real soul and flavor for that house.
Thank you so much, Rob. This is absolutely terrific.
Really, thank you.